From minor AR updates to legendary Pokemon, Pokemon Go has evolved quite a bit from when it was first released. Hi, I'm Megan with the Leaderboard, and I'm here to give you the scoop on the worldwide phenomenon that is Pokemon Go. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. It's impossible to talk about Pokemon Go without mentioning the Google-developed games that served as its framework. In 2010, John Hanke helped create a company within Google called Niantic. The company was named after a whaling vessel that ran aground into San Francisco in the 1800s. Niantic based their name off of the vessel because they wanted to use Google's infrastructure and technology to highlight cool local historical facts. As such, Niantic's first developed project was an Android app called Field Trip, a location-based app that alerts users whenever they are near a historical landmark or site. Starting to ring a bell? With all of its locations cached into the app, Field Trip helped lay the groundwork for the Pokestops and gyms in Pokemon Go. By late 2012, Hanke and the Niantic team released Ingress, the true precursor to Pokemon Go. Ingress is set in a futuristic world where humanity is split into two factions. Players must go out into the real world and find portals that may prove the existence of alien life. Ingress includes augmented reality and location-based elements, much like Pokemon Go. It may or may not be as popular as Pokemon Go, but according to Niantic, Ingress has been downloaded more than 20 million times across both Android and iOS. The portals in Ingress were plotted using data for points of interest from Field Trip, but it also allows players to submit their own suggestions for portals in the game. Since Pokemon Go used a combination of the map data from Ingress and Field Trip, that may help explain why there are Pokestops in weird, seemingly random places across your neighborhood. In July of 2016, Pokemon Go was live! Fans all around the world could finally fulfill their dreams of becoming a Pokemon trainer. The game's release broke records, having been downloaded over 100 million times. It was an instant cultural phenomenon for the first couple of weeks after release. The core mechanics of the game have remained virtually the same since its initial release. You still walk around catching Pokemon or engaging in gym battles, but there have been some major updates that have added layers of depth to the game. With almost 2 years of updates to cover, for the sake of brevity, we'll highlight some of the more important ones to get you up to speed. Another major update came in the form of buddy Pokemon, and these guys aren't just cute, they're useful too. When you walk a certain distance with your buddy Pokemon, you'll unlock candies for them. Just like in the Pokemon anime, you can make your Pokemon stronger by spending time with them. If you haven't played Pokemon Go since the summer of 2016, gyms might look a little different. They now feature 6 permanent slots for the controlling team's Pokemon. Each Pokemon assigned to these slots must be unique, so you no longer have to worry about rolling up on a gym and seeing 6 Jolteons. In addition, opposing trainers have to battle the gym's Pokemon in the order they were assigned to the gym, leaving the controlling team a bit more options on defense. There's also a completely new motivation system that changes everything for the defending teams. You'll notice that when you assign a Pokemon to a gym, a motivation meter will pop up. When Pokemon are first assigned to a gym, they have full motivation. But over time, and as they lose battles, Pokemon assigned to defend a gym will lose motivation. With the decrease in motivation comes a temporary deduction in CP, which makes it easier for opposing trainers to attack. Eventually, if a Pokemon loses all motivation, it will leave the gym and return to its trainer the next time it loses a battle. For the trainers on defense, this might sound a little unforgiving, but don't worry. You can treat the gym's assigned Pokemon to some berries, which will restore motivation and keep them in tip-top shape for their next battle. Last, and certainly not least, you can now earn gym badges when interacting with the many gyms around the world. The badges don't really serve any function other than just a nice little memento of your Pokemon Go adventures. Doing Ash's anime celebration when you get a badge is completely optional, but definitely recommended. By June of 2017, Niantic added raid battles to Pokemon Go, which have become a major feature in the game. Raid battles are a cooperative experience that encourages groups of up to 20 trainers to work together to defeat an extremely powerful Pokemon, known as the raid boss. Before a raid battle begins, a large egg will appear on top of a nearby gym with a countdown timer. When the countdown timer reaches 0, the egg will hatch and the raid boss Pokemon will be revealed. In order to participate in the raid battle, you need a raid pass. It might sound complicated, but raid passes are super easy to obtain. In fact, you can get one free raid pass daily daily by visiting a gym. If you and the other trainers manage to successfully defeat the raid boss within 3 minutes, you'll all have the chance to catch the raid boss. But wait, there's more. In addition to catching the extra powerful Pokemon, you'll receive a whole bunch of other goodies, potentially including rare candies, golden raspberries, fast TMs, and charged TMs. That's right, TMs are now in Pokemon Go. The addition of TMs is a huge change to Pokemon Go, and we need to talk about it a little more. Just like in the main Pokemon games, TMs allow players to teach their Pokemon new moves in battle. Fast TMs allow you to change a Pokemon's fast move, and charged TMs allow you to change the charged move. In case you didn't know, movesets in Pokemon Go are determined randomly when you catch a Pokemon and every time you evolve your Pokemon. It is entirely possible to catch an ultra-powerful Pokemon who has incredibly weak moves. Before the TM update, there was nothing more tragic than seeing your highest CP Pokemon become useless because of a bad moveset. A moment of silence for my first Gyarados, who had Bite and Crunch. He's in a better place now, released out to the big waterfall in the sky. I cry every time. From the moment Pokemon Go was released, people were wondering how legendary Pokemon were going to be incorporated into the game. One of the first trailers for the game showed Mewtwo appearing in Times Square and hundreds of trainers trying to capture him. And that's almost exactly how it happened. Thanks to raid battles, legendary Pokemon were added to Pokemon Go in the form of legendary raids. Legendary raids function just like a normal raid battle, except the raid boss is a legendary Pokemon, and they are much harder to catch. Also, legendary raids are typically seasonal or limited time events, so you can't just waltz outside and catch a Zapdos. Lugia was the first legendary Pokemon introduced into the game, and because Team Mystic caught the most Pokemon during the Pokemon Go Fest challenge, Articuno was added shortly after. Since then, players have been able to catch Ho-Oh, Moltres, Zapdos, Rayquaza, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Groudon, Kyogre, and most recently, Latios and Latias. During the initial release, Pokemon Go only had some of the first 151 Kanto Pokemon available. No legendaries, no Ditto. But now, the game has expanded to Generation 3. There are now 80 Pokemon from the Johto region available to catch, as well as over 130 Pokemon from the Hoenn region, and possibly more to come. In addition, Ditto has finally been added to the game. However, finding a Ditto may prove to be trickier than expected. The shape-shifting Pokemon will disguise itself as a common Pokemon and will only reveal itself as a Ditto after being caught. Dittos can be hiding as Pidgeys, Sentrets, Zigzagoons, or any of those other Pokemon you run into 1,000 times a day. Needless to say, you'll have to catch any and everything you see if you want to add everyone's favorite pink Puttymon to your Pokédex. When Niantic started introducing Gen 3 Pokemon, they also introduced a new dynamic weather system in Pokemon Go that drastically changed the game. The update made it so that local weather patterns also affected the weather in Pokemon Go. The in-game map will change based on the weather near you, and on top of that, the nearby weather impacts Pokemon in a bunch of cool ways. First off, specific Pokemon types are more commonly found during certain weather conditions. For example, water Pokemon are more common on rainy days. Additionally, depending on weather conditions, certain attacks may be more effective. It's a cool new dynamic that makes the game feel that much more real. It's a relatively minor change, but if you can't figure out why Pokemon keep running away from you when you find them, it's probably because of the new AR changes. Since the AR Plus update, Pokemon are now a fixed point in the battle space, so you can walk up and see how big or small they would look in the real world. However, it comes with a catch. If you get too close to a Pokemon, they might notice you and run away. In its most substantial update of 2018, and quite possibly since the game has been released, Pokemon Go recently added research tasks, which unlock in-game rewards upon completion. In addition to being something new to do in the game, the research tasks also serve as the first glimpses into some sort of story for Pokemon Go. In the research tasks, trainers work with Professor Willow to attempt to learn more about the cutest and most mysterious legendary Pokemon of all, Mew. There are two types of research tasks that trainers can participate participate in. These tasks include a wide range of Pokemon-related activities, such as catching specific Pokemon or engaging in battles. The other kind of tasks, special research tasks, are story-driven activities that are requested by Professor Willow. The special research tasks will allow more of the story to unfold as the trainer completes more objectives. Trainers can complete as many research tasks as they'd like, but only one of them will count and get stamped in your progress book. You get your stamp after completing whatever your first task was that day, so be sure to keep that in mind. Once you collect 7 stamps, you can unlock a research breakthrough, which offers high-tier rewards, including the chance to encounter a legendary Pokemon. Almost 2 years after its release, Pokemon Go is still thriving. With 20 million active players and now story missions evolving gameplay, there's never been a better time to be a Pokemon Go player. Once again, I'm Megan, and thanks for watching Pokemon Go, then versus now. What do you hope to see in the next update for the game? Are you stoked to help Professor Willow with his field research? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to hit that bell icon to become part of the notification squad. And thanks for watching The Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.